What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including CM Punk's debut, AEW wrestlers drop hints about CM Punk during the latest Dynamite, Braun Strowman has a big announcement, Brock Lesnar AEW rumors, Bray Wyatt looking in phenomenal shape, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into the first story. Our first story looks at AEW wrestlers dropping hints about CM Punk during the latest Dynamite, and also his intended debut. Now, today's top news concerns the question whether CM Punk is coming to All Elite Wrestling. That's arguably one of wrestling's worst kept secrets, and AEW wouldn't have it any other way, with two of its stars alluding to Punk in their promos during last night's episode of Dynamite. Things got started when it was announced that AEW's new TNT show Rampage would take place on 20th August in Chicago. The special edition is titled First Dance, a tip of the hat to the Michael Jordan documentary Last Dance. As recapped by Metro's Alistair McGeorge, two AEW wrestlers referenced Punk without name-dropping him. The first was former TNT champion Darby Allin, who cut a backstage promo declaring, "I'll be in Chicago. You know, I've been around a lot of men in this world that have laid claim to how they're the greatest. There's only one place to really prove that, right here in AEW, even if you think you're the best in the world." Allen's reference to one of Punk's nicknames wasn't the only hint of Punk's rumored arrival in AEW. Well, who else could be the best in the world? Shane McMahon? He does have a trophy for it. But following the main event between Chris Jericho and Nick Gage, MJF came out and announced his next labor for the 5 labors of Jericho, beginning his promo with these words: "Chris, as you sit here in more pain than you've ever been in your entire life, I need you to listen to me." Fans couldn't help but notice the similarities to CM Punk's legendary pipe bomb promo in the WWE, where he called out John Cena with these words: "John Cena, while you lay there, hopefully as uncomfortable as you can possibly be, I want you to listen to me." Punk has been coy about whether he signed with AEW, and not too long ago by posting a segment of Alan Parsons' project song Sirius, the same song used in the aforementioned Michael Jordan documentary. This is also the Chicago Bulls 90s theme song, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. AEW president Tony Khan fueled the speculation further when he was asked by a New York Post reporter how AEW might be affected by the signing of Punk and Danielson. Khan replied, "I can't comment on those two guys, but I think there's certainly a lot of exciting rumors right now." Now, while it's a Captain Obvious statement, it bears mentioning that AEW wouldn't be dropping Punk's name unless he was signed, sealed, and delivered for AEW, nor would it have the camera pan to fans chanting CM Punk. The question now isn't whether CM Punk is signed, but where he'll show up. Right now, it looks like Rampage will be his debut, a smart move considering it should pop interest in AEW's new television show and its upcoming pay-per-view All Out, which just so happens to be Punk's hometown of Chicago. Next up, a big Brock Lesnar AEW rumor. Perhaps equally big is the rumor currently circulating that Brock Lesnar is signed with another wrestling company. This should be considered a wild rumor, but it's one worth mentioning as it began to grow online. Andrew Zarian of the MatMen podcast recently remarked on Lesnar's situation, saying, "The story is that Brock Lesnar signed with another company and everyone is thinking it's AEW. I can tell you it is not AEW. They have spoken maybe once in passing, like nothing serious whatsoever. Everybody I asked about this, they laughed. I can only tell you what they said to me." Zarian reportedly also noted that Lesnar is not signed with the WWE. If the WWE and AEW are out of the question, New Japan Pro Wrestling would seem like a likely spot, a promotion Lesnar worked with following his first exit from the WWE. As we've suggested, Lesnar's value to AEW is probably nowhere near what the Beast Incarnate would want for his contract. We'll continue following this story as it develops. Next up, more WWE firings. It looks like the big budget cuts aren't finished in the WWE, with Fightful Select reporting they have released an unknown number of employees, including people from its marketing, merchandising, and other consumer products. The report added that some of the recently fired employees were advised they might be brought back down the road, which has been the case with some employees. The latest round of employee terminations suggests that WWE is testing the waters to see if they can do the same amount of work with less employees. WWE President Nick Khan has been cutting the WWE budget by consolidating departments, the idea being that a number of jobs and departments were redundant. How these consolidations play out as the WWE resumes its touring schedule should determine whether the employees are brought back. Fightful added there are currently no plans to release any more wrestlers, but given the recent releases, there are no absolutes. Next up, Braun Strowman's big announcement. The WWE's release of Braun Strowman caught many members of the WWE Universe by surprise, as the main eventer seemed untouchable in terms of being let go. Strowman has been keeping fans updated on his activities since his June departure from the WWE, including photos of showing how jacked the monster among men is. Now Braun is letting his fans know via Instagram, "I can't wait to share what's going on with me, big moves coming." Strowman's 90-day non-compete clause is believed to end around the beginning of September, with rumors flying around that the WWE is interested in bringing him back. Who knows what's next for Strowman? What do you guys think is next? Might he step out into a non-wrestling venture? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a Cash Wheeler injury update. FTR worked an action-packed match against the Proud and Powerful on the 28th July Fight for the Fallen edition of Dynamite, but Cash Wheeler was gruesomely injured during the match, leading to concern just how serious the injury was, especially after Wheeler was taken out of the match. As noted by Ringside News, the injury took place when Wheeler was shoved off the ropes and his arm hit the metal ring post between the turnbuckles. He was sliced open. It was a completely freak thing. PW Insider is reporting that Wheeler will be okay, and hopefully AEW's medical team will keep an eye out for any potential infections that could aggravate Wheeler's recovery. Next up, the Queen of the Ring finals will take place in Saudi Arabia. A downright shocking news concerning the WWE's upcoming Queen of the Ring tournament. The announcement that the WWE is holding its first ever competition on television to crown its Queen of the Ring surprised some fans, suggests the WWE is continuing to build up its women's division. Now Andrew Zarian of the Mat Men podcast was reporting, "Hearing the current plans is to hold a Queen of the Ring finals in Saudi Arabia in October. This should prove an interesting situation, with the WWE attempting to expand women's wrestling in Saudi Arabia, a nation well known for its misogynistic practices in public and private life. You may recall the WWE's landmark match in Saudi Arabia between Lacey Evans and Natalya at 2019's Crown Jewel and 2020's Super Showdown bout between Bayley and Naomi. Hopefully no knuckleheads in the crowd will throw any water bottles at the competitors, as was the case at Crown Jewel. What do you think of the WWE possibly airing the finals in Saudi Arabia? Who do you think should win the tournament, and who do you think the WWE will have win the tournament? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Shelton Benjamin rejects a fellow women's wrestler's help. Shelton Benjamin is friends with Mia Yim, but he recently turned down her offer to help him in the ring. Yim had some fun tweeting, "I think Shelton could use his good luck little sister by his side." However, Benjamin passed on Mia's offer, telling Keith Lee's fiancée, "Focus on your man." Shelton Benjamin has been anything but the gold standard of late in the WWE, dropping match after match on Raw, when he does eventually get a spot on the Red brand. Perhaps he should take Mia up on her offer. Then again, he might be just thinking of Keith Lee, a superstar whose career has been on the skids since his Raw return 2 weeks back. And finally, Bray Wyatt is looking in phenomenal shape. Last but not least, wrestling fans are curious why Bray Wyatt remains off television despite being one of the biggest stars, but it does look like he's been working hard in the gym. A recent photo suggests Wyatt has lost weight and is arguably in the best shape of his life. There's no word on his return, but we will keep you updated. But there you have it guys, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.